Welcome back. Part 2, Cannabiz Conversations with my guy, Ed from Lobo. It has been a fun conversation. Look, if you haven't checked out Part 1 and Ed's origin story, we've heard a lot on this show. This is, again, it's a very cool one that deserves your attention. So go back, check out Part 1 before you hop into Part 2 with us here today. And as always, thank you, Fat Nugs Magazine, for your sponsorship and your support of our little show. Speaking of support, nobody does it better than Fat Nugs as far as media is concerned that I've seen. So reach out to Dustin and the team, find out more about their brand partnerships, sponsoring the show, partnering with others. Make it happen. These magazines are artwork, they're conversation pieces. They sit on my desk here, but when they're not here, they're upstairs, man. And people are always like, what is this? What? I'm thumbing through it. Kids of all ages, frankly, because I don't have kids. So whenever people walk in my house with kids, it's on my table. I don't know what to tell you. Enjoy it, though. It's worth it, and it's educational at the very bare minimum, and entertainment above that. All right, Ed, we are going to talk about the Lobo Lab, all the crazy things Ed's working on, and there is always something. Again, I've been fortunate to be in the background with this brand for a while, helping in different ways, and it's been very cool because I get to get some R&D stuff. As a matter of fact, Ed just sent me some R&D stuff, and I had to ask him what it was because I didn't know what he had sent me. It turns out he sent me a golf ball holder, which I have. Thank you, Ed. I don't golf, so I have given it to my father-in-law, who I believe will enjoy it and have at it. So, yeah, dude, tell me, when did the lab sort of come about? Like, how did it come about?
Like all great things, it came out of necessity. Starting the pre-roll company, you get into, starting the pre-roll company, we have like this like regular business needs, like the production equipment, and I always found it really expensive. So we were, always kind of create some tooling or some jig to like improve the product. And I'm always trying to make better pre-rolls. So I always, from early on in the business, it was like, I want a pre-roll, I want a blunt machine. So this came from initially me not being able to afford a knockbox. And I was like, I think I can functionally make one of these things. And that led me down a rabbit hole that eventually turned into this. But yeah, it started because when we were in Oakland, I couldn't afford a knockbox. And I was like, I can put holes through plastic. And I had to do that. So I got a cheap 3D printer and like printed basic jigs, and they were so janky back then. So like they were like, $300-400, but then you're going to spend like $300-400 to get it to run right. And then also like have to like wire the thing. But whatever, man, it just kind of clicked. I got it to work, and that was enough. Like just having the idea of like, I want to do this and then this, and even as rudimentary as it was, it functionally worked. And then that was it. And then everything just became, it was my hammer, and everything just became a nail for it. So my retail packaging, a bunch of stuff. You want to, again, make cool stuff, and really, I like the creation process. So this really allows me to kind of like ideate and execute expeditiously.
dropping big words on me here today, Ed. I like that about you, bud. You always keep me on my toes. So look, when you look at the landscape of, like you said, necessity, right? So this idea of having a way to create, which you clearly like to do. But now you're starting to see potentially how there's a retail application or along with product application, right? And a way to do things differently. The bubbler, bro, it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm not really anything outside of just a glass pipe and the occasional, as I said, Lobo Mini and El Presidente, please. I love it. My God, it's unbelievable. But that aside, I'm just regularly a bowl guy, and that's just kind of how I roll. That thing's nice to just have when I travel the States where it's totally cool. So then I just get to go hang out and just have that and make it work. Where, Ed, where does it all come from, bro? Is it what you've seen that you're convinced you can make better? Is it something that just Ed wakes up 2 a.m, whiteboards out a cap for a lid that turns into a bubbler? Like, how do we get here, bro?
A lot of joints. No, a lot of joints. I like making. It's that part for what it's worth. So like I do have some ideas. Some of it's necessity. The bubbler comes from, like, specifically, we have this pre-roll. I mean, we have this cannabis company, and I have these eighths that we sell. And when you're at retail, you gotta drive traffic. So, like, I could either give you a discount or I can give you something cool. So give them something cool, and everybody's happy. So if I like, right?
Yeah,
So
no, it's right. It's right. And from a sales perspective, it's a great add-on product. You know what I mean? Like it should just be it should be at every checkout. It should be, there. But it's also, that gets me started on a whole other thing, bro. Like going to different markets and seeing how your product is displayed, or seeing how your product is talked about, or seeing how it varies so much. It really does. And to me, in some situations like Illinois, it's all like, it's so sanitized. Like there isn't people involved. When I was in New York, you guys dropped me off at this like old ass building. It was so cool inside the dispensary. It was like it was
how's
so
it work?
cool.
That was a rad experience.
It was a rad experience, and I was able to sit there and talk and do these things and look through and blah blah blah. Not as cool as Colorado, where they're still cracking jars and giving you a sniff off the good stuff. You know what I mean? But still, it was still there. But Illinois, it's sanitized. It's fucking, use your kiosk, go to your door, have somebody through a metal wall. I'm sorry, it's like the glory hole of weed, guys. I don't know what to tell you, but all of a sudden, out comes my thing. I got my weed, and I leave. It just,
Funny.
I don't love it. I'll say that about it. I really don't love it.
Yeah, no, it's gonna change. It'll evolve over time. Look, like most liquor stores are lame. You just walk in, you get your stuff, and you leave. Like realistically, right? Like
it's true, dude. It's true. No, it's right. It's right.
I got $20. I need these Presidentes. Like, all right.
And I'm out of here. And I'm rolling out. If it were that easy, I think people would do it. So that brings me to my next question for you guys as a brand. There's the big hemp discussion, Ed. Where does Ed stand on the discussion of hemp as it relates to this part of the world right now for you and your business?
Ed's a free market capitalist. No, yeah. If it works for your brand and your business model, go for it, right? As long as you're adding value and trying to put a good product to people, and those work within the parameters of the rules, then so be it, right? I understand. I think there's things to be done. Who dares wins, right? This whole damn industry started illegal, right? I'll be fully transparent. Like that's the way it was. I remember when CRC, when things went wreck, it was like literally you had like material in a room, and then they're just like, and this is initial inventory, and then they do the hokey pokey, and then it's like, oh, this is the day. So like I don't know. This is where federal governance may be like very beneficial for some oversight and standardization of rules and regs. But if you go by that thinking, then they already did with the Farm Bill Act, right? Like it's not my fault that those guys didn't like write that out specifically to define what THC. You know what it is? Like you wrote the.
Like, no, it's a loophole, and to your point, and you keep saying it, and I keep circling it on my page here, is adding value. Like, and I don't have a problem with expand. My company that I work in, that I own, is in automotive, and we've been at it for 13 years. And every time we expand, is out of need, is out of value, is out of a client coming to me saying, "Hey, you do this, but is there any way you could do this?" And we go, fuck yeah, we can do that. And we do it, right? And we find people to fill those roles and grow that part of the organization. I've never taken $1 of outside money in my life. I funded this whole company from the beginning. And you said it early on in part one. It's not just like a dream. Like you can build something. If you really want to add value to an industry, you can build something that matters. You probably aren't going to be a fucking billionaire, though. You might even barely be a millionaire if 20 years in you were successful. Like this is not, to me, being an entrepreneur is controlling my own destiny. And that's where I'm at with this. That's why I can't work for companies, because I can't have someone else tell me how to spend my time. You see what I'm saying, Ed?
Well, yeah, life is like independence. Life is like independent study in school, right? So you're either the students who got to get told what to do with the curriculum, or you get some independent study. right? And you keep yourself occupied in a way that the school's, hey, this guy's productive and not dicking off. And then you get an A. When I first had my AP class, I was like, oh, I got to just do a project. And I just did an art project. And it was just like the autonomy, like, and just go be productive, like do something. Go learn a trade. There's so much shit to do. Like, learn how to fucking lay rod, like weld or something. You know what I mean?
Autonomy,
Like,
bro. Autonomy. It's a great word to use. It's an underused word when it comes to my joys and my reasoning for being an entrepreneur and doing what I do. So let's circle back to the lab, because as an entrepreneur, the lab fuels you. It's what you do with this. What are you hoping to have the lab become for you as an individual and or for your business as we move forward, man?
Shoot, man, the lab to me is a exercise in entrepreneurship again, but focusing on sustainability and new ways to produce things, because why not try to figure out new ways? So I've been really into 3D printing on some like B2B solutions for my business, but it being able to, I think, feel again, trying to add some value, right? So I don't like the way the current supply chain of like goods can be at times, right? Or like, again, answering a need. So I need retail displays. I need signs that have my names on it, holding my product up. I actually need to have some of those ready for an event tomorrow. And getting custom displays again. What is the full experience my consumer has when dealing with our product? And it's like, here's a way for it to then also be the platform itself that the product stands on, right? And having that, shaped and molded and like suited to our needs, but without as a company having to invest thousands of dollars overseas for hundreds of goods that need to be warehoused. Right. So before I need 10,000 of a thing, I need like a solid, steady stream of 2. Right. Can you get 1 on the regular basis ordered again? Right. So 1 repeat action requires, then you can scale. So in Illinois, we're in about 100 stores. So when we were in 1 store, we needed 1 retail display. Now I need 100, but so you can scale up accordingly. And oftentimes, do you need like 100 things right now, or do you need 5 a week? Oh, okay, cool. You can find sustainable solutions to like meet these demands that allow you the flexibility to produce cool things without having to spend a whole bunch of money up front. So like, again, to autonomy, right? So
the autonomy to create, the autonomy to approach, as you said, the customer experience. Which I don't know if you know this, but I had a customer experience that related to your brand when I was down in Illinois recently, and I shared it with Aaron. He was not happy with the experience, because it was something of this idea that like I pointed out the brand, and it was kind of like, oh yeah, that's cool. Here's what here's what I'm looking at as a they're not bud tenders. They're like fucking kiosk advisors. I don't know. The whole thing's
that's exactly what it is.
The whole thing's weird to me. So like whoever's running, whatever bottom line dollars. Look, I'm a car kid, so like incentive from manufacturers happen all the time to get you to move certain models. I assume sales is sales, although I've had a few people question me that on lately that like if I've been in sales for almost 30 years of my life, and someone's like, yeah, but like, is that the same sales as selling weed? And it's like, I don't understand. I'm sorry. I've missed the whole question, because you use the word sales and then all of a sudden I don't give a fuck what the next word is. Sales is sales. It makes no difference. You have to have active listening. For anyone on this who was watching the show wants to learn how to sell something, active listening is how we do it. We lost Ed.
Oh no.
Yep, I got you.
Sorry about that.
All right, we're back. We got Ed. Technology is the mother of all inventions, as well as the mother of all headaches. It is how it is. So, Ed, we were talking about the sales idea, and I was getting a little heated because this idea that sales is sales. So, like I said, anyone who wants to know, active listening, absolute key to sales. Absolute key to anything for me, selling anything, whether it's cars, suits, knives, fucking, I don't care. I've sold a lot of it. So it does not matter. It's about active listening. Ed, how do you get an eyeball into a market, brother? You're in 100 stores in the state of Illinois. How could you possibly get feedback? What do you do to get inspection of the 100, bro?
Have a really great support team. We have some rock stars in Illinois as brand reps. and who are really passionate about the plant, really passionate about the market, and love the brand, and just invest in them and take their feedback, right? Working, cultivating, getting the right team together. That's where like the scale part of it becomes, where then you can entrepreneurs, but then you got to be managers. And Aaron's really great at keeping the team together. So Marisol, shout out Marisol, Lady Lobo.
Yeah, we met Marisol at our first NECAN. Yeah, she was set up. We walked in. There was the Lobo Pride. We were able to get in, drop a little hey, we know those guys type thing. She was great, man. She's great for your brand. We did a quick hits with her, which is what we talk about on our live shots. And
Dope.
she was a good time, man. She's really cool. So there's a lot of cool things going on in Illinois. A lot of cool stuff around consumption lounges. Shout out to our girl Maddie Scanlon, working on just trying to demystify the idea that people can't just be at a place like a bar but have it be smoking weed, and make it easy and not make it go through a million hoops. So really excited for some of that future stuff. And as you look into market right now, so like take a place like Illinois, what's your opportunity, man? What's your area of opportunity from a business perspective for you?
I think there's a lot of opportunity for diverse SKUs that are put out there, and really taking customers on kind of like a journey of what like cannabis is and things can be. So from the infusion side, from like form factors, and then also just refining solid experiences. So I think we're still very much in an education phase. So to, I guess, combat sometimes the inconsistencies in product, focus on the consistency of experience, and that's what I think we get to do at the state level.
Yeah. So education, I circled it here. That's a big one for me, and I think that not enough people are taking it on in the way that they should. I think there's a lot of opportunities for brands, and I've told this to you in our text exchange. You guys should be out there educating people on a regular basis about whatever. Because consumers will attach your name to education. And when they do go into a sanitized version of dispensary life and they see the Lobo logo and they see that, there will be brand connection. It is how it works. You know this better than most, having been on the ad agency side for a long time, right? So yeah, man, educate. Anyone out there in the space right now, worry about education. It's the whole reason we started the show. I wanted to bring different perspectives and different people out here to educate you. This show does not make any money, people. We've talked about this before. This may as well be the Red Cross, for God's sakes. This is something that I do because it matters to me, because I don't work in the industry officially, okay? I've been in the background 15 years, but I don't cut, as Ed said, I don't cut my teeth here. The cannabis business does not pay my mortgage, okay? So I get it, but there's still a lot of opportunity, and stop complaining about the socials. So be consistent and go to a place like LinkedIn right now, safest place for cannabis. And there's a couple other cool startups that are up there. Ed knows about these. There's a couple out there as well. So just, Ed, what advice would you give to anybody in the space trying to get into the marketing flow? Given what you've seen, what advice would you give to folks?
In the marketing space?
Yeah, I mean, just about marketing product, man, just in general, whether that's retail, whether that's, a bigger company trying to market out business to business. What about just marketing right now do you think is working and not?
Authentic and tell story. Don't fluff, right? If everyone's being loud, whisper. Like, I hate to just be like that sounds all like woo woo, but yeah, like just if the product, like I'm not, marketing is just communicating message in the respective media that it's being delivered in, for me, right? So like what's the message and what's the format? I guess is video cool. So how we got to make them evoke and feel, right? Like when you say sales, right? There's some like kind of core tenets of just, so you're active listening. For you, for me, it would be messaging, right? Are we communicating the message to the best of our ability?
Do we have one, right, Ed? I mean, let's start there. Let's be basic. Do we have one? Do we know who we're trying to be, or are we trying to be something to everyone? In which case, I think it's tough. I think you have to find a section, a niche, and be freaking great at it, right? And I think that's something that you guys did with the pre-rolls that has allowed you to get into different spaces that you're now saying, look, we dominate, we do this, we're great at it. Now we can start to do this.
For sure, niche. Find where you can add value, and because even with the pre-rolls, right? So it's like, here's a product, here's a form factor. I'm only as good as the material inside of it, right? So from a marketing perspective, it's my best interest to then highlight and focus on the guys who grow the stuff, or where it comes from, or either the process of how it's made or the pedigree of how it's produced, right? But there's a story in there, right? In all aspects, right? Educating the consumer on why, right? And I've never been good at just shucking bad stuff. That's hard. I couldn't answer that one. But like, it was straightforward to do this when it was like puffcore, anything that's good. It's like, man, this is awesome. And if I'm personally excited about it, I just want to talk about it about hours. I want to talk about this, but I also want to talk about like printers or just, sharing what you really like. So if you really like it, then it's just
Ed, you showed me something in the pre-show. Why don't you show folks what that was? I think that might have been a Puffco unit. I'm not positive. You busted out something wicked.
This?
No. It was like glass.
This?
Yeah, there you go. Give it the side camera, Ed. Look at that thing, man.
This thing is rad, man. Like, this thing is not even had nothing to do with this. This product, I'm just a fan of. It's a great way to smoke hash. It's designed beautifully, and if you're into like consuming hash without having to have a giant rig, it's a great way to experience and make consuming hash more palatable.
Can I say that the whole thing kind of scares me though with the heat elements and the way that it all gets done? Like it doesn't.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Just got a Q-tip. It's fine. You smoked a little. It's fine. All right.
It's fine.
If you want any more innocuous, right, or low key, eat an edible.
Eat an edible. It says, "Oh, look, I've gotten into the gummy world. I don't get much beyond a gummy. I typically use it for bedtime or here again in the state of Wisconsin." Yeah, I got minis. I'm down with it.
I got a new one for you.
What you got?
World premiere. Hold on. So this is our new joint case, right? We produce these. These are what we're going to be calling. Is this about? These are the Platinum Presidentes.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So these
are boy. So look, bro, you sent it to me, and I wondered what fit in it because I looked at a mini that don't fit in there. I looked at the current Presidente that don't fit in there.
Yeah, these are little cool storage containers that hold our lighters. They got a little keychain on the bottom. So you
sent me the his and hers, bro. I love it. We're excited to be able to run with them.
But these are we've been working on a new SKU. And this is something that we're going to be bringing to market. Super excited to bring hash rolls out to Jersey. But these are rolled with that new doohickey. We'll keep that still like this.
Oh, okay. Oh, geez. All right. We got to keep this whole thing down low here. We're working on some top secret shit. Ed, you've been really great with your time, man. I really, really appreciate it. Couple of things on the way out. Number one, this is going to seem like a loaded question to the pre-roll man that you are. But right now, favorite way to just get down right now to enhance your evening. How are you doing it, Ed?
Vape. I just this haven't seen this either, Mr. Sean.
Side camera. What is this?
Launched a new vape cart, our first vape cart. So we got live resin cards. So I've been vaping a lot because I moved and I have to be discreet, and consuming, and like I got little ones around, so I can't really smell like weed. So yeah, I started threw me down a rabbit hole of vapes. I never really wanted to do vapes until I could do it right and really source it and have oversight through the entirety of its production. So now that we're up and running in Jersey with the manufacturing, Jersey's going to be the market where we launch the vape carts. So these are our new sauce carts.
Always trying to stand up. You're right about the discreet part. I actually stopped vaping a long time ago because it just didn't work for my noggin long term. It didn't make me feel good. But I utilized it for all of the things you mentioned for as long as I could. And that was something that I did enjoy that part of it. And I hope in the future we don't have to be. What else we got?
Edibles. I've really been enjoying just like eating a gummy and just like watching like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
What a perfect
It's
way to
dope.
go out, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We're gonna go out, man. Gummies and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, tell me this guy wasn't born in the '80s. Like, give me a break. I absolutely love it. Ed, man, you have been awesome. We thank you so much for your time, and we hope folks enjoy it because you are one of the good ones, Ed. Thank you so much for doing the show, and thanks for all the things you do.
Bro, you're the best, bro. Thanks for having me, bro.
We're here anytime, bud. Thank you so much. This was great. We love Ed. We love the Lobo brand. We also love Fat Nugs Magazine. Thank you very much for your sponsorship this season. It means a lot to us. If you're looking to learn more about the retail and brand partnerships available, reach out to the Fat Nugs team anywhere on social media, anywhere you can find them. They will get back to you. They are some of the best people to be in business with. Thank you so much for watching the show. We hope you enjoyed it. And remember, as always, the goal of this show is to and uplift the planet. That's what we're here for. Let's all join together and do it. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next time.